Hey y'all, how are all my beautiful friends doing? I hope you all are having a great day and welcome back to Crime Time with Mal. If you are new and you've never seen me before, hi and welcome. My name is Mallory and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. So today we are going to be discussing the disappearance of Brianna Maitland. Brianna was 17 years old at the time she disappeared in 2004. She left her job at Black Lantern Inn in Montgomery, Vermont. The next day, her vehicle was found backed up into the side of an abandoned house. And since then, no one has heard or seen Brianna. Alexandra Maitland, also known as Bree or B, so for the rest of this video, I'm just going to call her Bree, was born in Burlington, Vermont on October 8th, 1986 to parents Bruce and Kelly. She had an older brother and they were both raised on their family's farm in East Franklin, Vermont, right near the Canadian border. When Bree was younger, she was extensively trained in jiu-jitsu and was fiercely independent. For the most part, Bree led a pretty normal life. And on the day that Bree turned 17 in October of 2003, she wanted to move out of her parents' rural home. Kelly said that there was no serious stressors at the house, but she just wanted to experience more of her independence. She also wanted to be closer to her friends who lived 15 miles away and they went to a different high school. Bree enrolled in her friend's high school and kind of couch surfed from what I can gather from different friends' homes. She was a very well-rounded and very liked girl. Bree got 2 jobs, one at the Black Lantern Inn and one at KJ's Diner near St. Albans, Vermont. 3 weeks prior to Bree's disappearance, she ended up getting into a physical altercation with one of her former friends. The fight was pretty bad and it ended up breaking Bree's nose and she was in a concussion. So because of that, Bree ended up deciding to press charges against her. Bree was 17 years old and she was deciding back and forth on what she wanted to actually do in life, her different interests. You know, when you're 17, a lot of us are really confused about what you actually want to do with your life. Bree ended up dropping out of high school, but on Friday, March 19th, 2004, she took her certification for her GED and she passed with flying colors. Shortly around this time, she also moved in with her childhood friend Jillian. Bree called her mother Kelly and told her the great news that she passed, so they pretty much spent that whole day together. They went to breakfast, they went shopping, and they just had a great upbeat day. That evening, Bree went in to work her entire shift at Black Lantern Inn and left a note for her roommate saying that she would see her after work. After her shift, Bree and some of her coworkers ended up just hanging out at the end, and around 11:20, Bree left to go home. She got in her car alone. But Bree never made it home, and no one has seen or heard from her since that night. The next day, police discovered her car backed up into the side of an abandoned barn. Inside the car, police found Bree's 2 paychecks. I think they were paycheck stubs, along with Bree's migraine medicine and some of her belongings, but Bree's car keys were missing. They also did find some DNA that they collected. Police ended up going to Black Tavern Inn to follow up with them, but they were closed. So they ended up towing Bree's car into the station. They did not take any pictures from that day where her car was located, because they did not think that it was a crime scene. But later on, tourists who ended up seeing her vehicle backed into the side of this barn, they ended up taking pictures, so they retrieved those pictures from them. Just pretty much thought it was unusual, so they took some pictures. Now, Bree's parents had no clue that their daughter was missing until 3 days later when Bree's roommate called them and asked if they have seen Bree. Jillian, Bree's roommate, ended up leaving that weekend that she went missing to go on a weekend trip. When she returned, she saw Bree's note that she had left, and she kind of got worried because she hasn't seen Bree. So she ended up calling Kelly and Bruce to find out where she was. Bruce said that he didn't know where her daughter was, and he said at the time he was a little bit concerned, but just thought it was Bree and she was with some of her friends. Jillian, Bruce, and Kelly ended up calling all of Bree's friends trying to find out where Bree was, and nobody knew where she was. And on Tuesday, March 23rd, Brianna's parents reported Bree missing. At first, police just thought it was a runaway. They had a massive search and they worked nonstop for a couple of months. The case has had several leads come in and several sightings from Bree that was at Atlantic City. The FBI did get involved, and the former friend that ended up making that attack on Bree 3 weeks before she disappeared was cleared of any connection involving her disappearance. And the charges that Bree filed against her ended up being dropped 3 weeks after her disappearance. Now, March of 2022, several years of police into their investigation into Bree's disappearance started working with Othram Incorporated, which is located in Houston, Texas. They're working with them to develop a DNA profile from the DNA that was found at the crime scene. And they obtained DNA samples from 11 different persons of interest. And now they have DNA that matched from one of those 11 individuals. Vermont State Police said that it doesn't mean that they have identified a suspect, but they are continuing to investigate every lead. Sergeant Angela Baker stated, "The 11 individuals that we compared the DNA to were a person of interest. That is how we identified them throughout the investigation in the course of the last 18 years. It was DNA that we collected in the course of the investigation. We have conducted our due diligence right now, and that person has been very cooperative and spoken to us. So at this time, it is just an active, ongoing investigation to figure out what our next steps are." Bree would be 35 years old right now. At the time of her disappearance, she was 5'4", she had hazel eyes and brown hair. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Bree or know any information at all, no matter how big or small, please contact the Vermont State Police at 802-524-5993. You can also contact State Police Crime Information Tip Line at 802-241-5355. And you can also submit an anonymous tip by texting VTIPS to crimes, which is 274-637. Now, I'm confused on this DNA. I don't know really anything. I'm just a regular person here, but these are just my thoughts. If they matched one of the 11 people's DNA to this crime scene, I hope they're a person of interest, but they're not considering them a suspect, and all that they're saying is because they're cooperative and they have spoken to us. That confuses me because, as we know, a lot of people that are guilty with crimes, they do cooperate, and that would just make them even more suspicious if they weren't cooperating or speaking to law enforcement. 18 years is a long time, and I hope this family gets answers on where their daughter is, where their friend, where their family member is, because that is a long time to go just being in the dark. Let me know down below if you have heard about this case and what your thoughts and opinions are, but please be respectful down in the comments. You just never know if a family member is watching this, and if you were in that position, you wouldn't want to read bad things or disrespectful things about your loved one. Y'all are great about that. I know you are, but I wanted to mention that. Also, if y'all got to the end of this with me looking like this, thank you so much. I am in the process of moving, and I don't feel the need to put on makeup or even have the time to put on makeup just to pack up boxes and move stuff. So I appreciate y'all watching this video, and I appreciate all your comments, all your likes, all your shares so very much. And if you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join this amazing community we have over here. Y'all are some of the greatest people like ever. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and hit that bell notification so you get notified whenever I upload a video. Thank you again so much for watching. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Let me know what you think about this case. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Did somebody follow Bree from work and ended up happening? Was she talking to somebody that nobody knew about? This is so confusing. And again, so little details are out about this. Police have kept pretty quiet about this whole entire case and what they know, what they don't know. So I don't know. I don't know. Y'all, please be safe out there. Be aware of your surroundings. And thank you for watching. As always, I hope y'all have an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you again. I love y'all. Bye, y'all. Have a great day. Bye.